Howdy everyone, got another boot review here for you. This time these ones are from Carreta boots. So every time I'm on searching, for new boots and stuff, this website always pops up. And it always had my curiosity, so I ended up going with the white crocodile ones because I was interested. I mean, these are in a good price range, and they're about $200, give or take, if you order the belt that comes with them. So the upper is leather. I'm not sure what kind of leather. Could be calf skin, something like that. So let's just admire the box here for a minute. They have ostrich on the website. This one, of course, is crocodile. Side here we got crocodile as well. On the other side it's ostrich. Guessing that's their symbol for this company here. So I did order the belt with it, which I think it was about 30 or so bucks extra. So it made the whole thing 208 or something like that. So I figured, why not get the belt? Because usually whenever I get exotic boots, I'll get the belt and stuff with them, like I have over here for my ostrich boots. And sometime I will do a review on those boots there because they are very good boots. I bought those whenever I was in Tennessee, and I've had them for, I'll say maybe about 3 or 4 years. So they've held up a lot. I've kept them clean, kept them conditioned, so they are very good boots. But back to these ones here. So it does come with a little buckle. It's very, very soft. This crocodile, I guess, that they're using here, it's very soft, and that's good. That's what you want when it comes to boots. It is a pain in the butt to break in boots. There's a belt here. Let's see, I like belts like this that you can open this up and change. So these screws here are a T10. You could also use a flathead too, but something like this, Yeah, I always like belts that let you change the buckle on them. That way, if you want, different buckle and stuff like that, we'll just set that belt aside for now. I'll have to put the buckle on that at some point. I mean, right off the bat, these are very soft. I can already feel it. That's going to be good, especially for as pointy as they are. That'll be very good. That'll give it some articulation here. I can already see some kind of wear there. I don't know if you can pick that up, but I mean, that's fine. These aren't going to be, for glamorous things. And I love snip-toe boots. So as you can see, I have about 3 pairs of snip-toe boots. So if I find it easier for me to get them into the stirrups and stuff on saddles, rather than getting square toe boots into those, I find it a little bit easier because different saddles have different size stirrups. It just depends. Yeah, like I said, they're very soft. Bottom of them is very slippery, so these won't be, you know, boots that I'm going to be wearing outside to work in. We'll be wearing them in the snow in the winter because they have no grip at all. The only grip I see is on the heel, and that's not very much. You can see the pegs here. It's the back of the boots. Check out the inside of them here. See if we can remove this. Oh yeah, this just, so the soles that they put in here kind of, and it's already got some kind of leather pieces falling off. This is just, so they just glued a leather piece onto some kind of sole here, which that'll have to be fixed. I understand that they don't have, you know, insoles a majority of the time for snip toe boots. Those are very, very hard to find, very rare. So I'm amazed that they even found one to this side, and you can see where it comes to the point. And they feel foamy. They're very good. They're soft, nice soft foam. So I imagine they'll be okay for a little while until, you know, about a year or so. That's when foam kind of wears out in shoes and boots and stuff like that. Not very good for the long term, but they'll do. Hopefully I can find different insoles for these. I'll check out the other side here. We'll check out the right side. See if there's anything different. I mean, right off the bat here you can see a little wear already, but that's okay. So these are very, very pointy, very long. Like I said, I'm not too sure either what the upper is. It just says all leather, so I'm not sure what kind of leather. Could be calfskin leather, could be, you name it. Like I said before, the price range is not bad. So if this is going to be somebody's first pair of boots, this is a good deal. You know, if you want something flashy, I know they have other boots on the Vaquero website that are a little toned down. They're not as, you know, a little out there and crazy like these ones are. Let's see what this one has on the inside here. It's kind of insoles. Yeah, so it's the same ordeal. Except this one didn't curl up in the front. It's still got its point, but same thing. They just took a piece of leather and glued it to there, which isn't a problem. You know, I know what they're trying to go for. They want, you know, the foamy stuff gives you comfort. Look at it here without the insole. Bunch of little pegs in there, little nails. Hopefully those don't ever come up through. That won't be very pleasant to walk around in. Okay, so I mean overall, like I said, if this is going to be somebody's first pair of boots, you know, it's not bad. I've seen a lot worse. I've also seen a lot better. That's just because, you know, I travel down to different regions and stuff like that, that boots, you know, cowboy boots and stuff like this in general are in abundance. But on the scheme of things, these are not bad, and they're nice and soft too. So you're not going to have to worry about, you know, breaking them in, them being rough on your feet until about a couple, you know, year and a half or so when the foam wears out. Then you'll have to replace the foam. But other than that, these are very nice. They are very flashy. Compare them here to another pair of my snip toe boots, and you see the length just a little slightly. I'd say maybe about an inch or two a little longer, which is not bad. It's more surface area, especially whenever you're riding. And I think these ones are probably these ones are probably the same length as the other ones I compared it to. Make sure they're, yep. Like I said, they're just maybe about, you know, an inch or so more, which is not bad. In here, we'll do a quick jump cut of a POV of what they look like when you're wearing them. So here's a little POV. Like I said, they're nice and comfortable. They're already, you know, soft, so you don't have to worry about breaking them in. You won't have to do a ton of walking. You won't have to worry about your feet being sore or, you know, getting blisters or anything like that. And like I said, they are very nice. They are very soft. The upper is very soft too. Usually this point right here in boots is what gives a lot of people a hard time whenever they're breaking in boots. So these are nice and soft. You know, they're ready to go. You're going to go out and have a, you know, little night on the town. You know, you're going somewhere fancy dress. You know, you're just walking around. Or maybe if you want to work in these, I'm not sure they'd hold up for very long working in them, as soft as they are. But if these were your first pair of exotic boots, you're not doing yourself a disservice. You know, these would be great in anybody's collection for their first exotic boots. Then after that, you know, you get used to exotic boots, you know, get a lot of compliments and stuff like that. You know, I move on to something else. But like I said, these ones here, the price range is great. You know, I mean, even if you're a boot collector and you don't wear boots, these are definitely something that you want to add to your collection. You know, but it'd be whatever color. They do have these in black. I think they have them in brown. I'm not sure. I did see a blue pair, which I know I couldn't pull off blue pair. I'm either a brown or a black. So these are my first white boots, if I'm not mistaken. I do have the snakeskin ones, but I only wore those maybe about twice. That was for a wedding, and I think the other one was just slipped them on just to go out to the grocery store real quick. But these are actually my first white ones that I will wear probably a lot more in the summertime. But other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you bought similar boots or if you bought the same boots. If you like yours or not, if something happened to them. They fell apart, you know, stitching came out or something like that, because I'm curious and I'd like to know. But other than that, thanks for stopping by the channel and have a good one.